Always fun to be in the background waiting to go live and chit-chatting with Miss Joan and then looking up and realizing it's after 4 o'clock. But this is our weekly gathering, so we talk a lot. Hey, how's it going? Juliana here, the inventor of the Jewel Loom. I'm so excited. You know, I get so many inquiries about warping your loom, you know, using different products and how to warp the Jewel Loom and why is my tension lagging. And so I don't think that I can ever demonstrate this enough. And in addition to that, this is step one of the January Jewel Box Creative Soul Edition kit. And so we're going to be warping the Jewel Loom with hemp teak, my favorite hemp cord. And then I'm going to bring in the small Wisdom Warrior. And so this is for a new customer, Holly. Holly ordered a small Wisdom Warrior recently, and she's going to be attempting to make the sun pattern that you get when you sign up for the newsletter. And so I was really excited, and I've been helping her along the way. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to warp the loom for her, and I'm sure it's going to help out some others too. Hey, Jody. Hey, Cecilia. Listen, I did email you back, doll. I did. And can you look in your junk? Can you look in your things? And can you not email me through can you email me at jules@jewelloom.com? And I'll resend you what I sent you because I want to get it right. So, okay. Welcome in, everyone. Hey, listen, also, I just want to let you know that there is a second color wave available for this month. So if you're a Jewel Box subscriber and you want that second color wave and you let me know, I will invoice you the $35 for that second color, and it can hitch a ride with your original box so that you don't have to pay extra shipping. And so we'll look at all of that together, but I just kind of want to put that in your ear. There are not as many second color waves as there are original boxes. So I'm kind of doing this like behind the curtain. I don't have the second color wave up on the website because I want to make sure that the subscribers have a chance to say, yeah, I want one of those. So without further ado, I'm just going to also let you know, MB is in the house. He's right behind me. He is snoring like really loud. And so it is what it is. If he's not by me, he cries. And so we've done 3 walks today. I've cooked for him twice today. I just gave him all of his meds, and I'm hoping that he just crashes out. But with that said, he's probably going to be quite the snorer. So heads up. All right. So I'm going to take it down to the mat so that we can warp the loom. But you know what I'm also going to do is I want to show you what I've done. This is this month's project. Okay. These are 2-hole boomerangs that I cannot get enough of. And I mixed it up a little bit this time. So in the past, we've done boomerangs, but I've kind of kept it, you know, uniform in color, maybe uniform in size. But this time I was like, oh, what would happen if I added some gemstones? And so this kit has got some tiger's eye. It's got sunstone. It has smaller sakura and pryhnite, along with some fire polish. And what I just want to point out is that not only was I able to make the first bracelet, I'm literally making a bigger one with the leftovers. Okay. And not for nothing, I think I'm still going to have some beads left over to, I don't know, maybe make some earrings. So it's a pretty thick kit. All right. So let's warp our loom. And I'm just going to bring the jewel loom on over here. And I've got the Hemptique. Side note, with all the kits this coming year, I would say that there's a good chance that many times we're going to be warping with Hemptique's Hempcord and or leather. Okay. I would, and it's on the shop, it's in the shop, the jewel loom shop. I would buy like neutral, like a natural color, or maybe even like a black or a gray is really pretty. And I'm loving this slate blue. So maybe you buy like a couple of colors to have in your stash so that as we're working together throughout the year, you have that to go to. I like 1mm. I just prefer the way that it feels. This is 1mm, especially when we're working with the heavier beads. You can try 0.5. I know Rosalinda likes 0.5. I'm a 1mm girl. Same thing with your leather. Definitely don't go under 1mm. Okay. Like 1mm is good for leather. All right. So with all of that said, I think those are the messages. There's so much to say. All right. I'm going to bring you down to the camera here. And there we go. Okay. So, okay, wait, we didn't go. Oh, there we go. A little bit of a delay. Scooch some stuff over, and I've got the original jewel loom. There you go. And I have the rod. Okay. I will tell you that earlier, and I know this is going to sound crazy. It was cold. It was cold here in California. And we're just such babies. It was like in the 50s. But my jewel loom was really cold. And so remember what Auntie Joan taught us. We want to take the jewel loom and we want to like warm it up with our hands. And I know that sounds silly and ridiculous, but it helps. It really does help, because when the plastic gets cold, we want to do like, we just want to rub it so that it gets a little bit warmer. Okay, so I'm going to I want to get a better camera angle here. Let's come over here. So we've got some. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring it down to, let's see, where are we? Okay, do we see? My goodness, why can't we not get this in here? There we go. Okay, so we're going to bring the rod down to that bottom hole and then swing it up, bring it up to the top and snap it in. And then I like to give it a little wiggle just to make sure that it's not going to pop out. Okay. And so then what we're going to do is I have got to figure out where we are. Okay. So then I'm going to bring the Hempcord in, and typically it takes about 2 yards to warp. And so I like to just work off of the spool so that I don't really waste any. So we're going to bring that down. This is truly something is telling me that there's an angle here that we're not. There we go. Let's see. There we go. Very odd. Hi, Carol. Okay, so I'm going to take the Hempcord and I'm going to wrap it around that back button. And the back button is facing me. And I'm at a little bit of an angle just because I'm trying to give you the best shot. But it's still in front of me, okay? So we're going to grab, and whether you're using Hempcord, leather, wildfire, fireline, etc., you're going to want to follow what I'm doing with the knotting and with the way that I am warping, okay? So you can see that I've brought the Hempcord towards me, and I'm going to lay it onto one of the grooves. Now, because it is 1 millimeter, it's not going to fit into the groove. It just lays on all of those little spirals right there. Okay. And then we're going to flip the loom over, and we're going to bring this down to the bottom. All right. And then we're going to, and this is where a lot of people lose their tension. So I'm holding the loom. I want you to see my hand here. I'm holding the loom with my left hand. I've got the hemp cord with my right hand, and I'm really keeping the tension. Now, I don't want to pull so tight that I, make my loom bow too much, because remember, it's a flexible plastic, not a bendable one. So we're going to flip the loom around again and wrap that around the back button. And because we're using 6 millimeter beads, I am going to skip about, let's see, probably about 3. So I got 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to lay that down, flip it over again, and come up to the top of the loom, match it up as best as possible. I think I got a little too much. Hold on here. Okay. So we got a lot of little guitar action going. And then we're going to flip it over again. Now I need 4 warps. So we're going to bring that down, flip it around. Oop, I got my hemp cord tied up there. Flip that around and bring this back up. Flip the jewel loom and back up to the top, and then whoops. And there we go. There's our warps. And then we'll flip it over, and we're going to come around just a couple of times. The great thing about the hemp cord is that you can, because it's so thick, it like locks itself. Like I would never let loose if it was beading thread, but because of the hemp cord, it just locks itself under the button. It's kind of really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. And then what I'll do is I could bring in my original end and like tie those together. Bonnie, that's hysterical. I'm a newel. I'll take it. All right. So then we're going to flip the jewel loom back over again. And what I'll do is I'll take my pointer and I'll place that onto the grid there so that I can hold the warps in place. And then I bring in my right hand. And what I do too is sometimes I like to use my body, right? So like right now I'm pressing up against myself. And so there you go. And so this is the distance between the bottom of the jewel loom and the top of the warps should never be more than 2 inches. Okay. And in fact, let me get here. I want you to look at that. Let me get my tape measure. Okay. So we've got from the warp bed to the bottom right there is 2 inches. So you don't want to put so much pressure onto your jewel loom that the warp, that the bow right in this area is any more than 2 inches. I think that's really, really important to know. Okay. So that's warping the loom. And if you're making the January project, you can see that the reason why we skipped so many is that we've got to have space for these 6 millimeter gemstones. So our boomerangs didn't need that much space. In fact, if we were just doing the boomerangs, we would skip like one groove. But because we're doing the 6mm gemstones with our boomerangs, we need to make our little warp alleys wide enough to accommodate them. So, okay, so that is step one for the January project. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the Wisdom Warrior, the small Wisdom Warrior. And I've got some red wildfire, and I kind of went bright so that you can actually see what's happening. So I'm going to bring this down. You know, from a design standpoint, you could say that, you know, she's facing you. The sword, the top of the sword is up here. So this would be the top. But in essence, they're identical. Okay. So if you want to warp her from the bottom up, whatever works for you. Okay. So let's get this into position. And I'm going to, again, just work from the spool of wildfire. And I'm doing this for everybody, but again, Holly just bought herself, she just joined the Bead Loom family, and she just bought herself a small Wisdom Warrior. And so you're going to tie a knot on that back button, very similar to the way that you get started with your Bead Loom. And this is a 0.006, by the way. This snoring guy behind me. Okay, so we just want to really kind of get like two nice knots in there. Now this grid is very similar to the Bead Loom. Obviously, it's made out of wood, so it is different. And what we're going to do, let me see. I want to make sure I really get, okay. I can't help but think that my camera is on like close up for some reason. Anyway, this is my right hand. Okay. This is my right hand. This is my right pointer. All right. And the loom is pretty much in front of me. And so I'm going to guide that wildfire to lay down into the groove. See how it lays down really nice inside of the groove? You could see how it just snuggled itself into there. And this is where typically people lose their grip. And I'm going to stand up because I feel like I can kind of keep a little more control over what's happening. So again, right hand, and I've got a really nice tension. I mean, you know, if you feel like you need to like wrap it around your finger, you really should just play with warping in the beginning, and so that you don't get frustrated, just to kind of figure out like what works best for you. So I've got it laying down in the groove, and now I got to bring it all the way to the end. Whoopsie. And I'm going to line it up as best as I can. You know, unless you're using every single grid, I wouldn't worry about making sure that there are the exact amount, you know, just eyeball it. I mean, for the most part, it's pretty easy to see. Okay. Now, this is where you might want to readjust your hand, get a better grip on the wildfire, because this is typically where people lose the strength in their hand. They lose the grip on the warp. And then the very first warp is just like, it drops. Okay. So again, we've got a really good grip on the wildfire. I bring in my left thumb. I'm helping to guide it. And then I'm wrapping around that back button twice just to help keep that warp really nice and tight. Okay, now Holly is going to be making an 11-0 seed bead pattern, because she's going to attempt to make the, not attempt, she's going to do so well. She's going to do the sun pattern. So she's not going to need to skip any grooves. So I'm trying to see the grooves and not put my face in the camera. So let me just bring this up for a hot minute because I can't really see. Okay. So, oopsie. We're going to bring that up to the top. And again, I think you could see it a little bit better. See how we're not skipping a groove and there's just enough space in that little, in those little warp alleys right there for an 11-0. All right. And then we're going to come and we're going to wrap around that back button. You do not need to go twice, but if you feel like it makes you feel better to do that, then do it. You're going to get to the point where you don't need to. But when you're first learning, don't be hard on yourself. Just let it happen. Okay, so let's bring these up. And you can see like I'm really keeping the tension. And I'm going to bring that back down. And again, we're not skipping any grooves because we're working with an 11-0 toho. And we'll wrap it around. And now I'm not too sure how many beads across there are going to be on that pattern. But Holly, you're going to do one more warp than there are beads. So we'll bring this back down. And those are really, really close. Okay, and then I just kind of want to, let's strum. So you want to like strum the warps so that you get like that guitar sound. Okay. That's good. And by all means, when you get to this point, don't think like, oh, I got to finish this. I got to tie it off and this is it. Take it apart. Let go and do it again and do it again and do it again until you get the rhythm of warping your loom. There is no rush. There is nobody that's ever going to tell you have to do it on the first try. I'm not that teacher. I am all about practice, practice, practice. So we'll wrap it around again. And let's, for giggles, we're going to go ahead and do another. Yeah, this is looking really nice. Okay, so all these tiny little spots here are where she's going to pop up the buttons, the beads. Okay. So your experience with the wood looms is going to be a little different when it comes to the warps because you're dealing with wood. It's flat wood. And the jewel loom has the rod in it. You know, that's part of the acclaim to fame, right? It's got the metal rod and it allows for the warp to be extremely taut. So let's, at this point, let's see what's going on. I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. I think that this warp is fine. It's got a nice base for my foundation. And I would go ahead and tie off at the back. And what you can do is you would just simply wrap it around a couple of times. I don't want you to like waste a bunch of product. And then you would cut the wildfire and then make a knot. So again, very similar to what you would do with your jewel loom. So, okay. So I'm going to put that to the side. Hopefully Holly catches this and anybody else who needed some help with warping their wood looms. Any questions about that? I'm kind of trying to watch, and it sounds like a ukulele. It does. That's awesome. That's a great example. So I'm going to put this down. Yeah, I feel like my camera is definitely in some weird mode, but we're not going to mess with that. So let's see. Let's look at the second color wave first. Again, if the second color wave, if you're interested, you need to email me. Look at this. How incredibly delish. All right. So there's some blue turquoise, the pink. Anything pink in a bead, by the way, is very expensive, very high end. It takes a lot to get a really good pink dialed in with a bead. So this represents 3.5 strands, 4 different colors, and numerous 4 millimeter crystal fire polished beads. Those are actually they're strung on the strand. So when you cut your boomers off, those are going to come off as well. So in addition to that, I'm going to just turn this around a little. We've got the gemstones that I've added to this kit. Okay. So this teal black, I think I have to have more in my hands to give. Whoa. The teal black tiger's eye is to die for. It is so cool. There's some matte and transparent amethyst in here. And then there's some fire polish. Now, there's also going to be a button. So I had a button made for the kits. This is the button. They haven't gotten here yet. So I wanted to keep this one blank, but I will be coloring it. So I'll take my colored pencils and I'll pick out the colors that match, and then I'll color this in. Okay. So they'll have a button. You'll have all the beads that you need, and then you just need to get your hemp cord on order. And again, if you want one of the second color waves, just email me at jules@jewelloom.com and let me know that you want one. Make sure you have a customer profile because I won't be able to invoice you if you don't. Okay, and then let me show you the original, the January kit, which I've been using. So like I mentioned earlier, I've already made one bracelet. So we've got some blue and black tiger's eye, sunstone. The Pryonite is where's it at? I don't know. I might not have put some in this bracelet. It might be in the other bracelet. I think it's in the other bracelet. And what I did too was you can see that I had some 11-0s to take up the space in some of the warp alleys that needed a little bit of an extra something. That's an 11-0. So it's a good way to use some of your extra seed beads. So again, 3.5 strands of boomerangs. You're going to get, let me bring in this tray right here. So yeah, I think I am definitely in some weird like close-up mode because I'm not getting a lot in my screen like normal. Anyway, I'm going to bring this up a little here. Let's see. Look at that blue. That blue is to die for. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And then this really delicious green. And there's the Pryonite and the Seguro. That stuff is expensive. The blue and black teal, the sunstone, the button, and the pink, and then some of that slate blue. So very cool. And then this is the project that so this is going to be my second bracelet with the same kit. And this time I went 4 across. So I've got 8 warps. Okay. So instead of doing, what did we do over here? We did 4, right? So this is double. So I did 8 warps I'm halfway done with my project. I still have all of these beads from the same kit. So I'm going to have plenty of beads, plenties. And I'm probably going to have leftovers for some earrings or something. I don't really know, but there will be some leftovers. The 11.0 add to the design. I like the pops of color. Yes. I love that too. So this has got a little bit of the Sakura. There's one of the prime. No, that's a fire polish. Where's the? I think that's one of the prime nights. That's a very It's a very light green. So it's fun because it's like there's little hidden gems, literally, in the bracelet, and so I just love these. As you could tell, I mean, my energy is very excited and very up. I'll show you some that I've made in the past. These were all pink beads. Okay. And then just a bunch of fire polish. These were a little bit darker of a boomerang. So kind of like a fall vibe. And then I had, and then the turquoise. This is what I wear this one a lot. I love this one. So you can keep it real simple. Like if you have extra fire polish in your collection, by all means, you might want to dip into that and add them. And then the original, the OG baby. Let's see. I do believe, I can't remember which one was the OG, but I know it was one of these. I mean, come on now, right? I've been trying to get these little stinkers in the turquoise and I can't. This was years ago. We did this project years ago in the Creative Soul, group. So let me come up because I did fail to tell you about one surprise too. Let me switch cameras. I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay, let's go back to here. Okay. The other thing I want to let you know that I'm going to do is hey, Carmen, is when the subscribers for the January kit, new subscribers, new buyers, and those that get the second color wave, I'm going to let you get into the course. I'm going to throw you into the course in the Bead Loom school. Okay, so you're going to see footage from a few years ago when we were doing the original layout, right? So you're going to have different patterns there. And what I'll do too, because this is going to be like an all January, every Thursday demo. Once all of these are done, I'll add them to that course so that it's real easy for you to just find everything. And so yeah. So you'll have to go over to, you can go to jewelloomschool.com or beadloomschool.com. And then if you're not already in there, just sign up so that I can find you. And make sure you use the same email you used in jewelloom.com. Use the same one over in the school. Okay. So I don't have to search for you. All right. That was actually Joan. Carmen. Oh, Sandra's here too. Oh, Sandra's, you're the one that made the comment about the pops. Yeah. I love that. I love that on, I love that. Oh my God, I'm shedding. I love that on this bracelet. You can't really see them, but under the overhead, you could see them better. And I just randomly grabbed a tube, and I think they're like a luster turquoise or something. I love those lustered seed beads. They have my heart. But it's a great way to use your leftovers. So the crystal also looks good. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Because I was like, I'm go big or go home, right? So this is me kind of bring it in, Jules, bring it in. And then I'm struggling throughout the process because I'm like, oh, there's not enough. So thank you, Sandra. Thank you. And what she's referring to is the fact that I'm really letting the boomerangs in this particular bracelet be the star, right? Which is fine. It's fine. And it's totally cool that this has got like a bazillion different colors. Like that's cool too. But there is a difference, right? There is a difference. So thank you for validating that little design decision, because I do think that that they really pop. And I am going to, so on this design over here, there's only one pink. Do you see her? She's right there in the middle, just one. Okay, so I'm going to take one of our pink beads from this kit and I'm going to put her also just in the middle. So it'll be kind of fun. I like doing that. I like sneaking in a little bit of something. Aw, thank you, Avondale. Thank you. Okay, so there's, I wish I could, Carmen. I was hoping, Carmen, I think you speak Spanish, right? Let me know, because I just have to share this with you. I was like giddy yesterday, and I want to pull this up. I got to find it though. Let me see if I can't find it. Let me see. I should have had it ready to go. So I got a 5-star review yesterday from a customer who was ecstatic about her gemstones. I'm going to be really mad if I can't find it. Come on. Oh, this is just crazy. When you know it, I can't find it. Anyway, it was so fun. It's all in Spanish. Okay, so the gist of it is that the 5-star review, which by the way, you guys, thank you so much. Like we've almost hit 1,000 5 stars, and I'm take each one of them. Here we go. Okay, I want to make my screen so I could see Carmen's. Carmen says, of course, Jules, I speak Spanish. Okay. I don't know. Like a lot of people think because I'm Portuguese that I speak Spanish. They're not the same. They're not the same. So I get this 5-star review yesterday, right? And it's published. So it's Mayra Ortiz, Myra Ortiz, right? And Carmen, you can, I know you're going to get a giggle because I'm going to try my best to enunciate. Encandoras colores. El color. See, then I get all, and I listened to the translation. I did one of those, let me hear this in Spanish. Okay, here's the best part. Okay. She says, gracias, Juliana, por mi regalito, right? That's gift. I'm probably slandering all that. I'm so sorry. I'm trying my best. She's enchanted with the colors. Exactly. I was like a kid who was so stinking happy. Like I thought this was the best thing ever, getting a review in Spanish. It was just so precious. But what I'm really confused about is she put the happy face upside down. Is that a Spanish thing? Like, what does that mean? Gracias, Juliana, por mi regalito. And then the happy face is upside down. I need to know what the upside down happy face means. I don't know. So yes, I got thank you, Juliana. But I love my name in Spanish though. I mean, because that is very close to Portuguese, right? Juliana. I love that. Love that. And I did see that, but I don't understand the upside down. She probably made a mistake. Wanted a smiley. Okay. I don't know. It was so cute though, because I'm reading this and then I'm like, oh my God, the smiley face is upside down. What does that mean? Anyway, and how Mayra, Myra, right? Myra. So thank you. Thank you so much. That touched my heart so so deeply. I really loved it. It reminded me, and this is no joke, I one time wrote my Portuguese grandma a card in Spanish. And she looked at me and she had no clue. She had absolutely no clue what it would, because it's not the same. Spanish, Portuguese is not the same. But it was just so funny. Oh, playful, silly smile. Is that? Anyway, I just had to share that with you because those are the little things as a small business owner. First of all, the fact that y'all take time to do the reviews is like the best thing in my heart ever. But to get one in Spanish was just so precious and so heartfelt. And I really, really loved it. I was so excited. I was like, copy, paste, go find that translator thingy and then read it in English. But then I want to hear it in Spanish. And it was just so delicious. So thank you guys for when you do take your time to do the reviews, whether they're in Spanish or English or whatever language. I get so much happiness from that. Oh, thank you. No, it's very, you know what? That's so true. So Sandra is saying that the gemstones are so beautiful, but when you get them, the pictures just don't, it's so hard to like photograph the gemstones or photograph the beads in general. There's like a couple seed beads that like really haven't moved very well. And I'm like, what in the why? Like they're so I think what I need to do is like do pours, you know, like just be like, here's the seed bead, let's pour it into a jar or a bowl or whatever, so that, you know, people could see the colors, because it's hard to get like the truth of it all. So anyway, I know this was a lot of information about all the different kits. All you have to do is email me for clarification. But the bottom line is that if you buy or have bought a January subscription box, and you want the second color wave, then it can go in that box so there won't be extra shipping, right? Sounds pretty good. So if you want that, just email me and say, hey, Jules, I want the second kit. I'll send you an invoice. It'll go in with the January box. No extra charge for shipping. Okay. Same price, $35. And it's a lot. And the cool thing, I think, is like if you do get the second one, then you can kind of mix it all together and you're just going to have like a field day. You'll be able to make so much stuff, like for reals. And the boomerang strands are not cheap. Like they're like $10 retail a piece, and you're getting 3.5 of them in your kit along with all the other stuff. So, but that's the jewel box way, right? Like I really like to make them full. I think that's what we got. Joan, you got anything? No, she's shaking her head. She's like ready for bed. You know what? Can you come on really quick? Because I do want to ask you something.
Hi.
So I saw the story about that poor eagle that was shot. Its beak was shot. Have you read about that?
Is that the one where they've already repaired it?
Yes.
They used, by my understanding, they used a 3D printer to help.
Wow. That's
and the beak is made of keratin, just like our fingernails. So then it would, once it got that, it was able to eat properly and, grow out.
Okay.
And, I mean, it's probably not grown out yet, but it'll eventually repair itself then.
Oh, that's so cool. Tina, welcome in. So happy that you, this is her first time tuning in. This is the end of the show, but Joan has such a love for birds in general, but eagles are her heart. And so when I saw that story, I was like, oh, does Joan know?
I think I first heard about it a couple of years ago when it was first found.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's just so sad because, half the beak, I think it was the top part of the beak.
Yes.
So it couldn't even, they had to really be careful. The tongue didn't dry out too.
Thank God there are people that know how to like do stuff like that, right? Like
it was because that's the first one that had gotten a 3D printing, I think, for an animal or maybe a bird. I'm not sure, but it's one of the first.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Right there. Yeah. I thought that was so cool that they're using technology today to help the
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah, no, I knew that it would be a Jones story and you would know. Because I saw that and thought about you immediately, and I'm happy that it's okay because we love the Eagles here at Jewel Loom, and we love your ventures and all of your heart that you put into everything. You know what we didn't talk about? We're such goobers. I didn't mention the Whatnot show.
I
So,
did post the links earlier in the
okay.
show, like halfway through the show, but I'll
So
post them again really quick.
Okay, so just so everybody knows, every Thursday at 4 p.m., we're here on YouTube doing a live. And then right after at 5:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we hop over to Whatnot. And so Whatnot is a selling platform where John, many of you know John, he's my BD bestie, he's Jill's best, like we all went to the Czech Republic together, and so he and I have been doing Whatnot, and we have been selling beads, and we have what's called $3 starts, and for the most part they stay in that range. Like, people are getting deals on strands of beads. It's crazy. And a lot, and it's old, it's vintage Czech glass, German pre-World War II glass. So it's not like everyday stuff. It's like 20 years old, and it's really beautiful. And so there's a link where you can sign up and you'd get a $15 credit. It's not a Jewel Loom credit, it's a Whatnot credit. Okay. It's all Whatnot. It's got nothing to do with Jewel Loom. But I have started to do it under Juliana Jewels, and I love it. It's fun. We get to chat like this, and I don't know if you can see, but I've got the table over there all set up. So there's just a ton. There's a lot of beads, a lot of beads, and vintage buttons. I mean, just some really, really, really gorgeous, gorgeous pieces. So that's going to be on here in less than a half an hour. So, but we're going to do that every Thursday. We've been doing it over the weekend, like on Sundays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I might do a Saturday morning show if I could get my butt out of bed.
I have a question. Is that the same link for every show, or is it a different link for each Whatnot show?
That's such a good question. I don't know. Well, the $15 credit thing is always the same. That's always the same. But I think it's a different link every show, because they actually keep the shows so that you can go back. Like, if you screwed up and you didn't write down a number correctly, you can go back and watch. So it's a new link every week, or every time I go on, it's a new link. Yeah. So anyway, all right, everyone. Thank you so much, Tina. Tina says her son's school made a 3D printed leg for a dog. That is so cool. Yeah,
I saw that. Really cool.
I saw that 3D stuff like years ago, and I was like, holy cow, that is cool. And people now have 3D printers in their home, like, so it's I love technology when you can figure it out. It's good stuff. Hey, one more peek at the bracelet, because I just love it so much.
It's
so
beautiful.
This is January's Jewel Box Creative Soul Edition kit. And again, I made this bracelet, and I've got another one on the loom from the same kit. So there's a lot of beads. This is a big kit. So good stuff. All right, everyone. I hope you have a really, really, really great rest of your week. Tina says, I watched a replay with Danielle. That's how I found you. Oh,
that's awesome.
I love that. Carmen, I miss you. Bonnie, everybody, So good. Cecilia, don't forget to email me at jules@jewelloom.com so we can get that figured out. So I think we got everybody in there. Awesome. Okay, guys, I'll see you next week with step 2 of the January project, and we'll start doing some beading. And that'll be a lot of fun. It's probably going to be like a 3-part series is my guess. So we'll have that. All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. It's great to see you. Love you, Cecilia.